All right, good morning, Facebook and Instagram. Happy Friday. I hope your morning so far has been a good start to the weekend. All right, so for your Friday workout today, we're going to do a full body circuit. It's going to be kind of a low impact full body circuit. Okay, so we'll get started then. So my name is Jessica Davis. I'm a fitness and sports instructor at CFB Gagetown in New Brunswick. And I'm just going to read off our disclaimer to start. All right, so in response to COVID-19, PSP is offering telefitness to Canadian Armed Force members. By using social media platforms, the telefitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Force personnel become accessible to all. Prior to participating in this session and to make an informed decision on whether you should seek advice from a qualified exercise professional or a healthcare provider, please consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document simply by clicking on the links below. So the links will be posted in the comments shortly, and then if they don't show up there, if you're not able to access them, then you can go back to any of our live videos in the past, and the links will be posted there. So by continuing with this telefitness class, you understand that there's a possibility of physical injury and you agree to do so voluntarily at your own risk. You also assume all risk of injury and agree to release the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services from any and all claims related to your participation in this telefitness class. Okay. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do kind of more of a low to moderate circuit. So we're going to be using resistance loops for this circuit. So you can use any type of loop you want. So just some examples I have here. These ones are a little bit thinner, whereas these ones are a wider loop. I just find the wider loops tend not to roll as easily, especially when they're on your legs and things like that. So it's up to you. They also come in all different strengths. So this one is a light loop. It's quite thin and doesn't have as much resistance or strength to it. And then this one's a medium loop. It has a little bit more. And then this one is a heavier one, so it takes a little bit more strength to resist against it. So whatever you have, you can use for this class. How I'm going to structure it is we'll do 3 exercises. So a core move, an upper body move, and a lower body move, all using the loops. We'll go through that twice, and then we'll move on to a second set of 3 exercises, again for core, upper body, and lower body. And then if we have time at the end, once we go through each set twice, then we'll go back and maybe do both sets a third time. We'll see what we're like at the end. So we'll start with a quick warm-up. Other than the loops, you might want just a yoga mat, some kind of exercise mat that's just got a little bit more cushion underneath you. So to warm up, we'll just do a generalized full body warm up. So starting up at your neck, we're going to have just a kind of athletic stance, keep a slight bend in the knees, tip your left ear towards your left shoulder, roll your chin to your chest around in front until your right ear reaches your right shoulder, and then do the same thing back. So just getting a little bit more movement into our neck. Some dynamic movement to help wake up our muscles, depending on what time it is, where you are. Good. Bring your head back up to center. We'll move it into our shoulders, so start with some small arm circles. Gradually letting them get a little bit bigger. And then let them get really big and fully exaggerate them. So when you open up your chest and then close your chest and round through your back. Make those circles nice and exaggerated. Good, and then we're going to switch directions. So let's start with small circles again in the opposite direction. Letting them get a little bit bigger. And then let them get a lot bigger and really exaggerate them as you move through that pattern. Good. Shake out your arms a little bit. And then let's just create a bit different movement through our shoulders. So we'll open up to the side and then close our arms across and switch what arm is on top as you go. Back and forth. Good. Shake out your arms. Okay, now plant your feet a little bit wider than hip width. And you're going to keep your toes planted, but as we twist, you can lift up on your heel. So we're just going to do some very slight torso twists. Start to get our spine moving a little bit, but let your hips twist with your torso as you go. And just kind of let your arms rotate around as they please. Good. And then into the legs, we're going to do our squat and hinge. So you will squat first, keeping your chest up nice and tall, stand back up, and then hinge from the hip. It's like you're trying to touch your toes, keep some bend in your knees, and then stand up using your glutes and your hamstrings. So squat and stand, hinge and stand. Make sure you use your glutes when you're coming back up. Squat and stand, hinge and stand. Keep going with that. Keep a nice flat back during this hinge. Nice neutral spine throughout both movements. Good. And we'll bring it out for some lateral movement now. So make a nice wide stance with your feet. We're going to lunge over to one side, so bending into maybe the right knee, come back up to stand, over to the left. So we're not holding this as a stretch. We're just moving back and forth for some dynamic warm-up. Again, making sure you're still keeping your chest up nice and tall, that you're not dropping your chest too far forward as you move side to side. One more each side. Good, and heel toe your feet back together. And for our ankles and our toes, you can hold a wall if you need to, or balance. We're going to do some ankle rotations here. And switch directions. My ankles are really cracking this morning. Need to do some more mobility for that. Other foot. And switch directions. Good. Let that go. Okay. So, as a bit of an extension of our warm-up, we're going to do what are called preparation movements. So, with each exercise that we're going to be doing with a loop, we're going to go through each one first without a loop, at a slower pace as a continuation of the warm-up. So this way you will know the exercises that are coming, and that will add a loop to it. So the first one is a mountain climber, but it's going to be a very slow and controlled movement. So you can either do your preparation mountain climber from your knees in a plank or from a full high plank. So if you're going from high plank, toes are going to be closer together, and in a slow and controlled motion, so it's not fast, you're going to bring your right knee towards your right elbow and then push it back. Same on the left side, and push it back. Just nice and slow and controlled. If you want to bring it down to your knees, just make sure you still have that neutral spine through your chest. You can bring, again, just knee to elbow here and come back onto both knees. Let's do one more on each side. Good. And then just sit back onto your feet. Our next movement, it's going to be a pull down with the loops. So we're just going to continue warming up our shoulders. So bring your hands up nice and straight. So imagine you have that loop around your wrists that are trying to pull your wrists together. So we're going to have straight arms. Then we're going to bring our hands down towards our face so our elbows bend, and keep them parallel. So our loop is going to try and make our wrists stay in together and our elbows go out. We want to keep them nice and parallel. So straight up, straight down. Just practice that movement. Watch your elbows and your forearms and make sure they're staying parallel, because just naturally your elbows will want to come apart. 2 more. Good. Shake that out. And third movement for this set is going to be kickbacks with the loop. So to practice, to get into that movement pattern, we're going to stand on our left leg. So left leg is balancing you. The right knee is going to come up, and then you're going to kick back, and you can let the right toes touch the ground. So right knee up, right toes back. Right knee up, right toes back. Keep going with that motion. You can add in the arms if you want to. I find that it just helps me with balance if I have the arms going with me. 2 more on this side. Good, and then we're going to switch feet. So now the right foot is going to plant down and support us. The left foot is the one moving. So left knee comes up, left toes step back, but our right leg is still holding the weight. Left toes up, left toes back. Keep going with that movement. And you still want your upper body to be fairly straight. So you can see when I put my left foot back, it's a direct line running up from my left foot at the back all the way up to my head. So that's what you want with your movement. So my upper body's not moving. It's just my lower body on that left side. 1 more here. Good. Awesome. So now that we have those movements down, we'll add in the loops this time. So you can, I would suggest starting with if you've never done these movements with loops before, start with a moderate to light band, and then you can add the heavier band once you have the movement pattern down. So for the mountain climber, we're going to have the loop around our feet. So you want it kind of around the ball of your foot and the arch, the top of your arch is where you want it. So we'll get into our tabletop, and then depending on whether you're going to do these mountain climbers from your knees or from your toes, you can get ready for that. So we're going to do 6 on each side, nice and slow and controlled. These are not fast mountain climbers. So here we go. Right knee towards right elbow, kick it back. Left knee, left elbow, kick it back. Keep going, alternating. That's 4. We're going for 12 total. Nice and slow. 6. Pull in that core nice and strong to support you. Pushing down through the hands. Nice active hands. This is 8. 10. 1 more on each side. Good. And back down to your knees. And you can take the loop off of your feet. Okay, now our pull downs. We're going to go straight into the next exercise since we're doing a more moderate circuit. So for pull downs, you can kind of be in a kneeling and seated position, or you can stand. Your pull downs loop is going to come around your wrist, just at the base of your hand. And again, remember, like I said before, we want our arms to stay nice and parallel. The loop is going to make you want to pull your elbows out, but you got to keep it nice and straight. All right. So arms up straight and tall. Bring the elbows down and try and pull your hands apart, but keep the elbows in line with your hands. Back up. Pull down and apart, but keep those elbows tucked in. See how my elbows wanted to move out? This is a tricky one. To keep everything in line. It's nice to do it in front of a mirror, or like I have this camera in front of me, so I'm able to really see how my elbows are reacting. Pull down and apart, but keep the elbows tucked in. Down and apart. I lost count, but let's do 2 more. Down and apart, and up. My shoulders are burning. Keep those elbows tucked in. 1 more for good measure. Good stuff. Whew. All right, and our kickbacks. So as you're going with these exercises too, just take note of what strength you're using in your loop. If you have extras, you can go down or up in strength depending on how you feel. So for the kickbacks, it's a little bit more confusing with how you're wrapping it. So whichever foot you're going to be standing on, so I'm going to do my left foot standing first and my right foot is kicking. So that means whatever foot is standing, we're going to put the loop around that ankle. So the loop is around my left ankle because I'm going to be standing on my left foot, kicking the right. So now the kicking foot, the loop is going to go around the ball of my foot. Everyone see that? So whatever foot you're standing on, my left foot has it around my ankle. Whatever foot you're kicking, my right foot has it around the ball of my foot, just under my toes. So here we go. Balance comes into play here, so if you need to hold onto a wall or you want a chair in front of you, you can do that. Same motion as we did before, but the knee doesn't come up as high when we drive through. It just comes back to the side. So kick the right foot back. It's going to stretch your loop, and then just bring it back beside the left ankle. So kick it back, bring it forward. Try to balance on your left foot the whole time, and just move your right foot as a hover through the air. We're going to do 10 on each side. I think that's 5. 6. Remember, keep your torso in a nice straight and neutral position, just that kind of a 45-degree angle. 2 more. Good. And we're going to switch sides. So that means this time the loop will be around our right ankle because that's the foot we're standing on. And then the ball of our left foot will be on the loop so that we can kick it back. All right, here we go again. So kick back on the left side and bring it back. But try to just hover those left toes and not let them touch throughout the whole 10 reps. This is 5. Nice and strong on that right foot. Feel your right glute really supporting you. Woo. 3 more. Last one. Good stuff. All right, let that go. Shake out that leg if you need to. And grab a sip of water if you've got some nearby. How are we doing for time? 11:20, perfect. All right, so those 3 exercises we're going to move through one more time, then we'll move on to the second set. So you can grab, maybe grab a stronger loop to challenge yourself on this round now that you know what's going on. Or you can stick with what you used last time if it felt good. So we're going back to our mountain climbers. Nice and slow and controlled, so we want the loop around the bottoms of our feet, kind of at the ball of your foot or just at the top of your arch. And let's flip into our tabletop. And then bring yourself into either kneeling plank or high plank. And we're going for 6 on each side with a total of 12. Here we go. Pull that knee into your elbow. Nice strong core, nice active hands. Keep breathing. Two more on each side. Last one. Good job. All right, straight into the pull downs. So we know where we're going with this time. So let's get it set up around our wrist. And keep those elbows in, nice and parallel. Start with the arms straight up. Let's pull down for 12. So down and pull out with your hands. Down and out. Down and out. Halfway there. Keep breathing. And here comes the last one. Good. Shake out your arms. And the last move of this set is our kickbacks. So again, these standing legs, so our left leg's are going to be first. Standing leg, we're going to have the loop around our ankle, and then the kicking foot, we're going to have it around the ball of our foot. So left ankle has the band, and right ball of the foot has the band. Here we go for 10. Ready, and kick back, and bring it in. Kick back, bring it in. Now the leg doesn't have to fully extend when you kick it back, because that loop is going to prevent you from doing that if it's strong enough. Halfway there. Again, you can use a chair in front of you to help keep your balance and hang on to it if you need to. 2 more. Awesome. Shake out that leg, and let's move over to the other one. So right ankle has the loop, and ball of the left foot. All right, here we go. Set yourself up in that athletic stance, and kick it back, bring it in. Kick it back, bring it in. Let those left toes just hover as you move through it. Keep your balance. I lost count again. All right, let's say that was 5. 8. 2 more. My right side is burning. There we go. All right. Good job. 1 set done. Okay, grab some water. Take a quick breather if you'd like. And we're going to move into our next set. So same with this. There'll be 1 core, 1 upper body, 1 lower body exercise. We'll do 1 round through of just movement preparation to understand the movement, and then we'll add the loops. So I'll just give you a couple more seconds to have a drink. All right, so I'll just start explaining. This first exercise will be side plank crunch. So it'll be your choice whether you add the loop or not. Some people find this movement just challenging enough without the loop. So we're going to do this one. Bottom leg has the knee down. So normally in a side plank, you would have both feet stacked and be here, shoulder directly over the elbow. We're going to let the top foot come on the mat and the bottom knee comes down so that your foot comes out behind you. And then this top foot, we're going to crunch. So just here for this movement preparation, crunch in and back out. Crunch in, so knee and elbow come together, and back out. Keep going. We're going to do 10 each side for this one. So let's do 3 more. Last one. Good. All right, I'm switching sides. So making sure that shoulders directly over the elbow. And then again, for movement preparation, instead of coming up in a full side plank, we're going to let the top foot come to the mat and the bottom leg, the knee bends back. Okay, so your bottom foot is out behind you. And now let's crunch top knee, top elbow, in together and extend. In together, and then as you reach out, make that nice straight line with that top side of your body. Stretch out. Stretch out, crunch in. Halfway there. Two more. Good. And come on back. All right, our second exercise is going to be for triceps. So we're just going to get the positioning down and pretend we're doing it with a loop for this first round to get you used to it. So you're going to hold the loop in your left hand and put your left hand in a fist at your right shoulder. So it's across your chest. And then the other end of the loop will be held in your right hand. You're going to push the loop down And then let the loop bring your hand back up. Push down, loop comes back up. Push down, loop comes back up. This may look funny right now, but it'll just help you when we add the loop. Okay, if you've got that down, so then you would switch sides. The right hand will hold the loop at your left shoulder, so make that hand into a fist, and then the left hand will push the other end of the loop down and let it come back up. Push down, let it rise. Push down, let it come up. Push down, let it come up. Good. Okay, so that'll be the movement for that second exercise. And then our single leg hinge. So, similar to the kickbacks, we're just going to be on one foot for this one. So, let's start, let's start this way. So, left leg is going to be our supporting leg as it was before. And then we're going to have a loop underneath of that left foot. So, your movement will be drop your torso down and let your right foot come up, and then bring yourself back up to standing, but this right foot is still hovering in the air. The toe can tap down if you need it to. So torso comes down, foot comes up, and then stand back up. So left leg is supporting, right foot is the one floating, back up. Again, if you need a chair to hang on to in front of you, or if you've got the wall beside you that you can just put a finger on to help you out with this movement. This preparation phase, just helping our muscles get the idea of the movement before we add the loop. Let's do it on the other side. So right leg is now supporting, left foot is the one hovering, kicking back. So come forward with the torso, left foot goes back, and then stand yourself back up. Try not to touch the left foot down. Stand back up, and down, and back up, and down, back up, down, back up. Let's do one more. Good. Awesome. So now we have warmed up those three movement patterns for our second set. So we're going to start with that side plank crunch. It'll be a bit different this time. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start with a medium loop. I would suggest if you've never done a side plank crunch with a loop that you start with a low to moderate strength of loop. So the last time we did this as a movement exercise, or preparation exercise, we had the bottom foot or the bottom knee on the ground. If this was enough for you, then don't add the loop. Just keep doing that from that bottom knee. If you want the extra challenge with the loop, this time we're going to be in a full side plank crunch. We're going to add the loop to our feet. So same as the mountain climber, it's going to be around the ball of our foot and the arch of our foot. Okay, and then once the loop is there, we're going to come into our side plank. So make sure that shoulder is right over the elbow, and then pop yourself up into side plank. Lift the hips as much as you can, and now with the loop on your feet, you're going to crunch in and push it out. I'm just going to move over a bit so Instagram can see my feet better. There we go. Okay, so loop around my feet, crunch in, and extend. Much more difficult with the loop. You can always modify back to our preparation movement if you need to. 10 on each side. 5 more. Almost there. 2. And last one. Good. All right, other side. Keep the loop around your feet. And come down on the other side. Again, check in, make sure shoulder is over the elbow. And here we go again. Lift into your side plank. There we go. Top foot and top arm crunch in with the loop and extend out. Crunch in, extend out for 10. This is 5, we're halfway. Lift your hips a little higher. 8, 2 more, and the last one. Good stuff. Whew. Remember, you can always modify back to that preparation phase if you need to. All right, so now for those tricep extensions. So you'll see now how I positioned us from the preparation movement. So our left hand is going to hold the loop. So you're going to hold your hand through the loop and then make a fist around it and hold your left fist up to your right shoulder. Now the right hand is also going to come through the loop and we're going to press it down and then let the loop bring our hand back up. So this is a tricep extension with the loop you can do at home. Okay, here we go for 10. Push down and let it come back up. Push down, let it come back up. Try not to have anything else moving in your upper body. So if you're having to like wrench your whole body to push your hand down, that means the loop is too strong for your tricep muscle. So nothing else moves but right here. Okay, going for 10, 4 more, 2 more. Good. Okay, let's switch sides. So this time, right hand is holding it in a fist at our left shoulder. Left hand comes through the bottom of the loop, and we're going to press down here for 10. So the loop is not around my fingers, it's around the palm of my hand to press down with it. Here we go for 10. Again, nothing else moves but that hand pushing down. Halfway. Eight, and 2 more. Good. Awesome. So now that you've tried that with a loop, one thing I'll add is if you found even your strongest loop wasn't enough resistance for you to push against, if it was too easy, then you can add more loops. So if you add 2 loops together and do the same thing, it's going to make it harder. And you can add as many loops as you want until you feel the right amount of resistance for you. Okay, let's move into our single leg hinge now. So we're going to have 1 loop, probably one of your stronger loops. And whatever foot you're going to stabilize on first. So I'm going to do, I'm going to do my left first. Okay, so my left foot is on the ground. It's going to be the one staying put as I do my hinges. The loop is going to go underneath that foot. So I have the loop underneath the ball and the arch of my left foot, and then I'm going to hang on to the other end of the loop with my right hand. So I'm opposite leg and hand, okay? So left foot is supporting, and I'm going to stretch this loop up so that I can stand. If your loop isn't allowing you to come to full stance, then drop down to a lower resistance loop, or you might need a longer loop. Okay, so from here, I'm standing tall. I'm going to let the loop come down short as I lift my right leg in the air. And then I'm going to use my left glute and my left leg to pull myself back up to standing and tuck my tuck my tailbone underneath me as I stand up to engage that left glute. So coming down, and then pop it back up. Use your left hand out in the air to stabilize you, or if you have a wall, you can just put a fingertip on the wall to help you stabilize. Awesome. Keep breathing. That's halfway. We're going to do 5 more on this side. Just keep it nice and slow and controlled. Maybe pick a spot on the floor to look at as you go. Two more. Last one. And stand back up. Awesome. Whew. Shake out that leg. And then we're going to go for 10 on the other side. So this time, loop is going under my right foot because that's my supporting leg I'm standing on. And then I'm going to hang on to the loop with my opposite hand. So right foot is supporting, left hand is holding the loop. All right, here we go for 10. So stand up nice and tall, let that loop stretch out. Use your right hand to help you balance. Let the loop come smaller and lift your left leg, and then pop it back up. And squeeze the right glute underneath of you as you stand up. Nice and controlled. That's halfway. Three more. There we go for 10. Good stuff. Shake out that foot. Grab a sip of water. And we're going to do a quick 1 more round through those last 3 exercises. So let's jump right back into it. Side plank crunch for 10 on each side. So let's put the loop around the ball and the tops of our arches. And pop yourself up into side plank. Again, remember you can come into our modified preparation movement if this is too much for you. Shoulder over the elbow, into side plank, crunch it in. Really feel that loop working, your core. Here's 5, halfway. Keep breathing. Last one. Good, switch sides. Keep the loop around your feet. Pop yourself up into side plank. Shoulder over the elbow. Here we go for 10. Crunch, extend. Crunch, extend. Halfway. Last one. Perfect. Drop it back down. All right, grab whatever loop or loops you need to do your tricep extensions. You can stand or you can kneel to do them. So left hand holds the loop in a fist, bring it to your right shoulder. Right hand comes through the loop so your palm is on the loop. And let's extend through our tricep. Push down, let it come back up. Nothing else moves in your upper body. Adjust loops if you need a different strength. Almost there. 3 more. Last one. Good, let's switch sides. So right hand holds the loop, bring it to a fist over your left shoulder. Left hand comes through with your palm on the loop to push down for 10. Halfway. 2 more. And 10. Good stuff. All right, last exercise. Let's bring it home with some single leg hinge. All right, so left leg is your supporting leg first. Loop goes under that foot. And then stand up holding the top of the loop in your right hand. All right, here we go. Hinging for 10. Help yourself balance. Come down. Pop it back up. Tuck your tailbone under to make that glute work. 2, 3, 4, halfway, 2 more.